The Toyota War was the final phase of the Chadian-Libyan conflict. It pitted the Libyans against the Chadians and gained its name from the usage of Toyota pickup trucks from the Chads, typically armed with some sort of gun like the 106mm recoilless rifles. Supporting the Chads were the French and Americans, while the Libyans were supported by the Soviets and East Germany. Libya's involvement in Chad started before Gaddafi in 1968, where the Libyans mostly supplied arms to their Chadian opposition allies in Chad. The relations between the dissident groups in Tripoli strained due to the latter's reluctance to provide food, fuel, vehicles, and ammunition. Eventually, the Chadian troops would rebel, allowing the Chadian government to gain control of much of northern Chad. Libya's own army was relatively decentralized, so the army couldn't threaten Gaddafi's power. The army had 20 tank battalions, 30 mechanized infantry battalions, 10 artillery battalions, 2 special force groups that include 10 paratrooper battalions. However, while much equipment was from the Soviet Union, logistical problems existed due to the variety of weapon systems from other countries. Meanwhile, the Chadians and French, also combatants, simply had the advantage of having Chad on their side. The American and French air support, however, nullified Libya's otherwise complete air advantage during the conflict.
Hommes seraient concentrés dans cette région. N'Djamena, pour les combattre, a envoyé, il y a quelques semaines, des troupes d'élite. Ces dernières ont rejoint les hommes de Goukouni-Wedei, concentrés dans cette partie du pays. Que va tenter Tripoli? Lancer une contre-offensive sur Fada, reprendre le contrôle du Tibesti, événement jugé quasi impossible par les observateurs ici, renforcer ses bases au nord du Tchad, tous les scénarios sont possibles.
During the war, the Chadian army deployed fast-moving Toyota trucks on the ground compared to Libyan armor. The fast speed of the trucks allowed for greater mobility compared to the Libyans, and with such speed that landmines were ineffective against the trucks.
At 7 o'clock this evening Eastern Time, air and naval forces of the United States launched a series of strikes against the headquarters, terrorist facilities, and military bases to support Muammar Gaddafi's subversive activities.
For the United States already had beef with the Libyans. In 1986, the United States did a minor amount of trolling in Libya in response for the mild amount of tomfoolery by Libya in Germany. The nation pledged money and anti-air stingers to Libya. This was much needed as France pulled back their air support after the Chadian army reached the Aouzou Strip. The Aouzou Strip would eventually be given to Chad after the Organization of African Unity intervened and arranged a ceasefire, with Libya troops withdrawing on April 15, 1994. But who cares about that anyways? Inspired by Chad and after joining Hustlers University, militant groups finally learned the power of Toyota pickup trucks. Non-standard tactical vehicles would go on to serve in many more future conflicts as the Great Toyota War paved the way.